Well. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. I am being silly. I was trying to get a thumbnail out of this situation. I'll wait for some of you guys to get in here. I will check the sound. There we go. Sound is good. Come on in. Come on in. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. I am so excited to be here back with you all this evening. I'm going to wait for some more of you guys to come on in. We will get started in a moment, guys. When you come in, like the video and subscribe to this vibration, everyone. All right. I'm going to take care of a few things here while we are waiting to get some more people in the room. It's going to be very interesting. I wasn't supposed to be here this evening. I was supposed to be teleporting somewhere else. No, but you know, I just figured I'd show up, and I think today's going to be a bit of a wild card, where you know, just it's going to be, we're just going to wing it. We're just going to wing it and see what it is that the spirit would like to say. Those are always the best videos, going, not being scripted, just being in the moment. But you know how Source always comes through with a very divine message. I really don't know why I'm here today, because I'm supposed to be off, you know. However, I am here, and so that means the Source must have something to say. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, guys. Welcome in to the channel, everyone. Like the video and subscribe, please. It's funny that you gotta keep saying that. All right, I'm just taking care of a few things on my end. Good evening. Hi, Keely, Sister Sonia, Amy. Welcome in, everyone. I don't know what it is I'm going to be doing today. To be honest with you, I'm feeling really peaceful. Like, I'm feeling very peaceful. So I want nothing to disrupt my mood, because I'm feeling very, very peaceful. Don't mind the hat and the hair. So I'm natural, right? So I was working out today, and baby, it just went. it just went. And so I'm like, man, I'm not gonna straighten it right now. I'm just gonna have to wait. So the hat it is. The hat it is. You love the bob? Yes, I love it too. I love it too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So okay, let me get serious about this. Okay, guys, so I was in my family reunion this summer, and you know, we was putting them boots on the ground. So I got my fan right here. I got them boots on the ground. Where them fans at? Sorry, I'm being silly, guys. I am being silly. How do you work out and fast? See, baby, I am immortal. No. I'm one of the immortal ones, you know. We don't go by the same rules as the earthlings. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't doing too much. Like, I used to like work out hardcore. Like years ago, I used to like bodybuild, like weightlift. So I haven't been able to do, like, since I started doing all this energy work, I really have not been able to do that. But I did like walk slash run for like 40 minutes. And then I did some weights, some abs. I mean, it wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like my normal workouts where it's like you're drenched in sweat. But I'm gonna get back there. But thank you. Yes, you can work out and fast, guys. Greetings, sister. Greetings, Sister Gail. Greetings. Who's this? John Stevenson? Okay, as the Earthlings do. All right, let's see where I want to start with this. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tahirah, Mother of the Ages. I am a supernatural quantum telepathic healer, guys, and the creator of the Great Expansion, a cosmic Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages, creator of the quantum telepathic healing modalities, and a clinical hypnotherapist by trade. I specialize in past life regression therapy. If you want to book a session with me, there will be some links down below. Thank you, Sister Gail, for the $20 super chat. I love how you support me in this channel. Thank you so very much. I do really appreciate that. All right, guys, you know what? I thought I was going to come here and tell you guys some of my business, but it turns out I really don't have any business to share, but I want to. I really do. Now we're going to get into the message for today, but I'm just chit-chatting, with my people who care about my personal life, and I'm in a really good place where, and I'm not sure if the collective is feeling this way. You know how you feel like, hey, I don't know what path I should take, or like, what should I be doing differently? We spent so many years feeling that way. And I'm just like, no, all I have to do is continue to go straight. That's it. Like, I'm in alignment. I'm on my path. And that feels really good. But, I saw like some inner child kind of like wanting to come out and play. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been all work and no play. So I want to have fun. I want to have fun too in my life. Because I'm normally sitting here for like 14 hours a day, like creating stuff, working, editing, putting courses together and stuff. I'm like, no, you have to like, I always teach you guys, it's sometimes when we're not doing something where we can create like our best idea, and so I need to do that. I need to do that. All right, guys. All right. To be honest with you, I was not feeling like being scripted today. I truly wasn't. And, it's kind of like, hey, what the heck am I going to say? But, I think I always have something to say. But what I'm going to do, I open to this random page in the Cosmic Bible. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to allow this to jumpstart us, and then we're going to start channeling. One thing I want to say, I noticed, guys, there has been a lot of people that are now talking about them being from a Nephilim bloodline or a satanic bloodline. The videos are running rampant, and they are using the code word of the Immortals. We just spoke about this yesterday. This is running rampant. We will see more of these things. My goodness, I think the channel is already starting, right? We will see more of this. We will see more of like literally all the movies we used to watch, like all the vampire movies, all of the movies that seemed a little bit supernatural. Yeah, that's what's happening. People are actually coming out and confessing that they are part of these bloodlines. That is very interesting. Okay, now what I want to do, I'm going to read this random page here, and I am reading from page 69, right? And it says, Mother guides us, talking about Mother Source. Mother guides us to maintain a humble posture through our daily spiritual practices. Practices like breath work, guided meditation, self-hypnosis, grounding by connecting bare feet on soil, and becoming one again with our tree family. She encourages turning away from any outside forces that do not align with the great expansion. Forces is given, that's what we're dealing with right now, that do not align with the great expansion, avoiding people, places, and things that might divert us from our divine path. Remember, I was saying, I just felt a sense of, wow, you're on the straight and narrow finally. The straight and narrow path, guys, is the path that is congruent and in alignment with your divine soul's blueprint. Come on, channel, let's kick it in. It says, we represent a version of humanity that could literally live forever if we can just make it to the next frequency unscathed. We must transcend our ego state now. And this is in alignment with the video I did yesterday, how this guy came out talking about he's 400 years old, trying to date a mortal woman. Everyone's coming out talking about how they're from these immortal bloodlines, or they're not really immortal. No, we are the immortal ones, and we outlined that yesterday. But Mother Source is grounding us into this vibration and telling us, how can we become immortal? We have to let go of the ego state now. So don't get me off my channel now. Hold on. Don't get me off. So she says we represent a version of humanity. Guys, this book is so multidimensional. We're just going to break that sentence down because she said a lot of keywords in here. First, she said she encourages, Mother Source encourages us staying away from any outside forces that do not align with the Great Expansion. What is the Great Expansion? The Great Expansion is a energy. It is a collective energy signature of the collective soul body of us, of Source, that is constantly moving to higher elevation bit by bit by bit. There is a part of you, of the collective soul family, that is always just here to expand. All Source cares about is expansion. Remember that. Source gets expansion from the dark and from the light. Not keeping them separate. It's when we understand the duality and collapse that, going back through the 0 point field or energy. And then that is what births the expansion through the dark. So Mother Source is already telling us there's going to be forces during this time. That's what we're dealing with. All of these creepy crawly Hollywood decrepit crypt keepers, that's what their avatars are looking like now. Like, the whole point is because they're forces. They're not the immortals. They are, in fact, forces. Forces of evil that have just been body hopping throughout the ages, and now we have met in a timeline where you and I have some of our cellular membrane back online. And so now what they're faced with, they usually could just sneak out of the back door and then just body hop somewhere else into another timeline, and they run the show all over again, you know, because they're on a perpetual loop. Because these people have corrupted time. There is no such thing as time per se. There is a father time, and it ain't good. Source deals with when the energy shifts. That's how we have the cosmic time clock. The father time is in vibration of the Yaldabaoth and all of the other fallen gods and deities that want to keep us on this chain gang, man. Come on, man. Y'all remember that? That's the sound of a man working on the chain gang. I don't know why. That's in my head. But that's kind of, is given slavery vibes, baby. It's given, this world reading is about captivity. Like, that's why I'm channeling that song. Right? This is about captivity. What is this world reading starting off to be? It's about the captivity that we've been in, the new captivity that is yet to come, and us now being the ones that escape out of the back door when we align with our immortal DNA. That's what this channel is about. So Source already says there will be forces during this time that will get you off your square. We outlined this yesterday. I've been talking to you guys a lot about this for a few years now, especially the ones of you in my Ascension program. The forces are those archonic thought forms. Those are sentient. We observe consciousness here, guys. You're either observing consciousness. I teach this. This is how you become psychic. You have to observe it. The remote view, that channel. If you include your emotions into it, no, then it is colluded by man. A natural channel is when we detach and we view it. It's much like a remote view where we are just observing, right? So here's the thing. The forces. The first one is the negative thought forms that lead to negative thought loops that actually lead to you taking action, which now binds your soul. It soul tethers your soul into a false matrix timeline. And what they used was a archonic, I'm getting a sound module, right? Guys, you won't believe how coded this universal sphere is. This part of the matrix is, everything is a code. So when you hear that negative thought, and you think that it's yours because we just were always taught that, we got little mind chatter. It's not yours. At best, they told you it's the one little angel on the shoulder, a little devil on the shoulder. No, what they were trying to do is to explain to you how we observe consciousness, and that there is something separate that is speaking, and you are either observing it or you are downloading it into your own stream of consciousness. Or what I guess I said observing, I want to say streaming. Or you are streaming it, right? Or you're streaming it. I like to stream nowadays. I loved me a good download back in the day when I first started my spiritual journey. We all loved a good download. But what other files are you getting with that download, right? You don't know what other files you're getting. You don't know what a malware or spyware, like all of those things that you might need to download that stuff. So I like to stream it and I like to observe it. If you guys notice, when I channel something, I just forget right away. That's like, it's like my guides and source, they just have me, I don't even download the information. I'm seeing it. I get the quantum drip. Oop, it's in my stream of consciousness, and now I just stream it and then I release it because it keeps me fresh for the next channel to come in, right? And so there's always more information coming in. And so the first force are those archonic disembodied spirits. They're actually sentient, and they trick you into believing that it is your voice, because most people are told to stay away from themselves, so that they should not get to know themselves, especially if you're in the old school version of religion. But nowadays we're wising up, and we can feel the energy signature of what is our energy and what is someone else's. And those negative source will never give you anything negative. If you get a negative thought loop, I don't care how much trauma you have and trauma bonding that you do, it still is an archon. It's an archon, and they're hoping to live inside of you, inside of your head, to collude your crown. That's where they're hoping to live. They want to, remember the squatters? These things are squatters, guys. They are squatters. We're not letting them squat in our biofield and within our chakra grid anymore. So I'm saying that to say that these are the forces. Now we got the other creepy crawlies we got to worry about. The people here that have been masquerading as human beings, but apparently now they're just all coming out and saying it. Oh, they're immortals. Basically, we keep reseating ourselves. It's the same thing like what I've been saying on this channel ever since I started this channel. These are the same people from yesteryear. Now they're finally saying it. They're just getting a new script and getting a new avatar, but it's the same agenda, which is to encapsulate and to bring humanity into the great snare. It talks about this in the Bible, right? This cosmic Bible talks about the snare as well, right? Oh boy, this is about to get deep. I think we're going from instructions for humanity. Now we're just tapping into sphere of consciousness, because this is always where I wanted to go, because I love all things consciousness. So the whole goal is to bring humanity into the great snare, the great deception. I'll tell you what that is. The great snare. I wish I could find this in the book. Let me see really quickly. So the great snare has to deal with colluding the time and colluding the vibration of source as well. Hold on. I wish I could find this. I wish I could find it. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Yep. So, here's the thing. This is the whole point. The great snare is a trick. It's like music. We spoke about the 808 drum. We spoke about that. We speak about this in the book. We spoke about that. And even Kanye West spoke about how it literally keeps you in your lower chakras. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the great snare. It is the true entrapment or the captivity or the it's deeper than the corporate plantation. Like this is to forever bind you into the lower chakras, keeping you in scarcity, lack, food, shelter, clothing. How am I going to, take care of my basic needs and necessity for today? Still dealing with low vibrational relationships, still dealing with a low self-concept, still not having the willpower to overcome so that you keep yourself suppressed. That's the snare. That's what they want. They want complete control, and that's why they traversed the timeline, 1969 timeline, to bring their little gadget called AI. But they brought back the inverted one. It's literally the planetary slave owner. It's what I'm getting. That's what they brought back with them, right? To keep watch over you. And these people that keep body hopping, that say they're 400, 500, 6, 7 years, 100 years old, are the watchers. They are absolutely the watchers. It brings a whole new meaning of what the watchers are. No, they're watching us. That's why they're in high places. They're watching us so that we don't get out of not just the fishbowl, but it's getting even deeper than that. So this is the goal, is to ensnare us. One of those ways that they would like to use to ensnare us is all of these ops they have. All of these ops they have on YouTube. And, Charlie Kirk was an op. Yep. And, Erica Kirk was an op. Candace Owens is an op. This is just facts. You can be an op and you don't know that you're an op. They can give you the illusion that you are off doing your own thing, running your own show. And yet they will carve a little space for you to play an even bigger game. See, that's what they did to Charlie Kirk too. That's what they're doing to Candace Owens. That's why she's still allowed to talk. They're like, we're going to let you play your little game alongside of us. Sound familiar? Same thing they said with Charlie. Charlie was an op, but he didn't know he was an op. This is what Charlie's saying. Yeah, I was an opportunist, but Charlie was never an op like, I'm going to outwardly work with these people. He genuinely thought he was doing something good. So I'm going to give him some grace on that. He thought, because he's kind of still young, he thought that this would lead to something good. He thought that, I got to keep it real, Charlie, I'm hearing this. He thought that if he pandered to the right people, then this would secure his political office, the work he wanted to start doing around the age of 34, 33, 34, 35, right? Yeah, so I think I tapped into his subconscious. That's not what his conscious is saying. His conscious is saying he had good intentions, but his subconscious is saying, hey, if I pander to the right people, then it will bring me into, political position of power, right? So I'm just saying, the first thing they're going to use is those ops to ensnare you. The second thing they're going to use is quantum manipulation and quantum radiation, girl. I'm channeling that. I don't know what quantum radiation is. I've never heard of that, but that's kind of coming up. This is what they're going to use to ensnare us. And remember, guys, all those channels of Erica Kirk being radioactive. So I'm tapped in. There's some people, boy, that I could just channel like nobody's business because I'm just tapped right into that field, right? Hold on. Quantum radiation. Baby, I ain't never heard of this. Source, did you make this? Is this a thing? refers to emission, absorption, and behavior of energy in discrete packets, oh Lord, rather than continuous waves, forming the basis of quantum mechanics. So they're going to bring out some sort of quantum radiation to ensnare us. Guys, I got to write some of this down because I'm just streaming this stuff. So quantum, okay, the first thing is the archons. And those poor archons are losing their power, by the way. They're really weak at this moment. So the archons, the negative thoughts and loops, quantum radiation, and the ops. I love saying ops. I just love saying ops. So this is the whole slavery 3.0 plan for humanity, as we call it. Slavery 3.0. How are they going to do it? The archons get inside of their head, right? That's why we got the Neuralink and all that stuff. You think it's to help anyone? No. All of this is the beast system. Everyone's like, this is the mark of the beast. I'm going to be honest with you guys. None of this stuff is the mark of the beast. That's a flip and a psyop too. It talks about that in this book. They flipped that around. It's a play off of when true source returns. When the true source returns, oh baby, it's going to feel like the beast has come. Because the light has armies and the light has swords too. We've just been over here giving grace for eons. But when the light shows up, baby, it talks about this in this book, they're going to pounce. And they've created roadblocks for the non-elect and the non-chosen. And so especially for those going underground right now, it talks about that, how these celebrities are going underground. They're trying to build those underground cities. Nope, you will be the first one found out. That's how, when Source comes, Source already sees your hiding places. Okay? So I just wanted to say that everything they have done a number on us, and my dad used to say, they turned our world upside down. And he would have a map, and he would have it flipped upside down. And he said, they mean it literally. So what you think is down under Australia is actually up at top. What you think is cool at the North Pole is actually hot AF. You see what I'm saying? What you think Antarctica is more than likely now inner, like instead of the outer layers, is more than likely the inner layers. And the real true Earth is where? On the other side of the inner layers of Antarctica. Message, pick it up, put it in your tea, drink it up, like the video and subscribe. Source is doing a big one. That is what I'm saying. You see how everything is inverted because that's who they are. They're really just archonic waves. That's it. Like, you know how where does Source live? And like, you know, higher vibrational beings, they live in thought waves. Well, where do the lower vibrational beings live too? In the disembodied spirits, in thought waves. That's where they live. That's why the mind is a terrible thing to waste. The mind is the power, right? If you have access to this quantum computing machine of the mind, then you can do something. That's why they want to bring in Neuralink and all that stuff to link into the divine intelligence, which is you. They just ensnaring you into those lower chakras through the archonic thought forms, through the quantum radiation, and through the ops. This slavery 3.0 is here where they take control of this. They get control of this, then you won't be able to fight it. We will, but the people, they won't know. They don't know that these thoughts, they've never heard of that a negative thought is not theirs. They've never, ever heard of it. Never. But now we're wising up, and I love how Source is telling the people, that's not you. That's not who you are. You are more stillness, peace, dark void, consciousness in waiting, the empty spaces, then you actually are of all of this matter that is in form. You're more of just the dark matter, which is just consciousness in waiting. And a part of you that's just holding space for the entire universe to go ahead and create and duplicate and multiply and expand. That's more so what we are. So we need to start getting into the void, getting into the 0 point consciousness. I've been just naturally there. Like every time I teach this class, like the quantum telepathic healing and psychic development class, I'm telling you, I start, because there's so much like energy work that we're all doing. Like my whole body is just vibrating. I lay down at night, I'm just like in a constant state of like reverberation. What do you think is happening when like my body is in reverberation? This is how like where source lives. Source lives in the reverberation of thought. There it is. I want to separate that. So source is bringing this up into my stream right now. Source lives in the reverberation of thought. That's different. Reverberation. The archons live in the thought waves. They have to hitch a ride via the divine light and vibration, and then they seed themselves in a wave form, and that's where they live. So source lives in the reverberation of thought. When something reverberates, if you are in a building and you just like, hey, 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 you say hey once and it just goes, hey, 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 hey. That is what source is. It's a reverberation. So the moment you speaketh, because you are also source, the moment you speaketh, everything reverberates. That's how they say you get the ripple effect. Now catch this. That's what source is saying. Catch this. If you speak something good, or speak something bad rather, and that thing reverberates, this is how you're creating a world you don't want to be in. You don't want to be part of that world. This is why people are saying, I can't manifest. I can't do this. Well, what are you reverberating? What are you reverberating? So it's not just enough to like have purified thoughts, but you have to speak purified vibrations too, because they will reverberate and reverberate and reverberate. And to be honest with you guys, I've learned this some years ago. This is actually how people get create. You can create yourself. People can create demons with their negative vibration. If you keep speaking negativity, and you are part of the reverberation of source, where do you think that goes? Where do you think that goes? It lives in a negative dimension because it can't live here. It just reverberates and reverberates, and it carries that negative soul line. And then you're creating all these demons, and then guess what? It's always you waiting on you. Everything is you pushed out. And so now the demons that you're claiming somebody else is sending to you, it's your own demons that you put out. Stop it now. Come on. Come on, message. Come on. Where the fans at? Come on. Don't take my black card. I'm gonna get this. There we go. There we go. Yes. You know what I'm saying. So I just love when I can vibe in consciousness. So this is the goal of everything. And it's the AI overlords is kind of what is given for the slavery 3.0. So this book, I could teach from this forever. I barely even went through 2 lines, and it's so much teachings that you can get from this. It's very multi-dimensional. Oh, guys, this is on, someone mentioned in the comments, this is on Amazon. You can pick this up. Please, guys, all of you guys are emailing me how much you love the book, but can you take this over to Amazon, girl, where it counts? No, but I'm serious. No, really, support me and help people find this book. Please go and leave a review. Leave a 5-star review, please. Thank you so much. And, all right. So there'll be forces, right? Don't align yourself with those forces. People who can't expand, You know those people in your life who can't expand? They are forced. Don't even mess around with them. Okay? Avoid the people and places and things that will divert you from your path. If you have a path and someone wants to divert you, source is saying, get rid of them. I mean, in this season, get rid of them. They can't expand. So that means y'all not going the same place. I know I'm speaking to a lot of people here. Like, you might have people, like people you're in relationships with, family members. They don't like your path. They don't like how we catch everything. They don't like the energy we're standing in. They don't like, that we're enlightened. They don't like it. They don't like your path. What Source is saying is that if anyone, people, place, or thing, I don't care if it's a car, and it's diverting you from your path, get rid of that sucker. Your pet, girl. No, not the pet. But you know what I'm trying to say. That relationship, it got to go in this season. Because y'all not going the same place. Guys, the splitting of the two has already happened. Wheat from the shaft, non-chosen from the chosen. It's already a done deal. You guys are not going the same place. This is why Source is saying in this time, if you want to be immortal, is what Source said. If you want to live forever, I'm going to tell you how to do that. But you got to get away from these people, places, and things that clearly are not going down the same path as you. They are on a dead, finite timeline that is ending, okay? So then Source says, we represent a version of humanity that could literally live forever. If we could just make it to the next frequency unscathed, we must transcend the ego state. Now, how do we become immortal? How do we represent humanity that can live forever? We let go of the ego state. It's the selfishness consciousness. It's even truly the every man for itself. All that stuff you were taught in America is a lie. They don't want you to be immortal. They want you to be finite like them because they want a destiny swap or switch and bodies, with you. So that's why they keep us there in our lower chakras. It says the ego is an artificial illusion. It's not real. It's not part of Source. It's part of the distortion of Source. The people who taught us about Source or about God, they distorted it, therefore birthed an ego because they put themselves in the position of Source. And then that created the great distortion or distraction, really, girl. We are one divine mind. One divine love and one divine consciousness. So if you want to align with the ones that can live forever, you have to be one divine mind. That means you can't have people in your mind. You can't have archons in your mind. You can't hitch a ride on every negative vibration and every negative thought. Let it pass on by. You hitch a ride on every negative thought, baby, you're going to be depressed. You're going to be in the corner somewhere. You're going to be lazy. You're going to be homeless. You're going to be sick. Let that thought pass on by. Somebody say, let that thought pass on by. Sometimes I just observe that thought and I'm like, bye. It's not you. It's them. That's what it's given. So we have to be one mind. Keep your mind sovereign. Don't take anything that wants to connect your mind into anything else. If you want to go back since iniquity, if you want to experience that and align with your eternal soul body, if you want to be immortal, we have to go back to one divine mind. One divine love. You can't be in all this separatism and prejudice and all that stuff. That's a scam and a lie from the pit of the matrix hell. That's just another tool and tactic that they use to separate us. And then you also have to come back into one divine consciousness. And this is the gag, guys. Let me tell you, this is the gag, guys. I learned this some years ago. People really don't know what it means to go back to Source. See, what this is saying, if you want to be immortal, If you want to be immortal, Source is telling us how to do it, but can you do it? Now let me break down that last bit on what that truly, truly means for us. One, divine consciousness. When this show is over, this earth life is over, if you truly, truly want to leave, die, never come back, always talk about, if you truly, truly, truly want to end this script, we go back to one divine consciousness. Imagine you have like this this storage, you know, inside of your bodies, it's inside your brain. You know, you've been storing all this stuff up through your subconscious, unconscious, conscious, you know, through every bit of what you have access to. When you go back to Source, you hand that over. You hand over everything you ever thought that you were. And any hopes and aspirations of things that you wanted to be or thought that you could be in the future, you hand that over to Source. Let that sink in. If you truly want to drop the ego, I'm telling you how to do it, but can you dig it? I don't know. I must be in like a 60s template today. I'm just saying all these things, right? All the things, right? So, listen, when you truly, truly get out of the matrix, truly, everything you thought that you were, all of your memory stores, whether it's conscious or subconscious, every bit of everything that you've learned, that actually now gets turned over into the collective pot. No longer being the singular being. Now, what we have aligned ourselves back to would be what I call consciousness in waiting, dark matter, which is consciousness in waiting, the empty spaces, the 0 point energy. It's just space. It's interesting that you empty out to expand, guys. Catch it? You empty out, you empty that hardware, that drive out from your brain and from your consciousness. You empty that out in order to expand. You can't expand holding on to so much stuff. There's a part of our healing that can never be done here on earth. And people always think they have to be perfect. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to catch these tools that we're all speaking here. You just have to run the checklist. Did I listen to the archonic voice? No. Am I, do I have any ops? Get rid of the ops. No. Am I staying away from forces, people, places, and things that cannot go to the next frequency? Check. Am I staying away from the quantum radiation? Check. Am I not letting them hook me up to a million things and, brain tap this and neural link that? Check. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to go through the checklist and see what you're doing. There's a part of the work that cannot be done in this realm. Okay? I think it was important for me to say that. We don't have to be perfect at this thing called ascension and self-mastery. We have to align with the universal consciousness, and we also put in codes for ourselves and checklist. So we run this every day. I have a ritual I do every single night. I work with a lot of energy. I have so many cleansing things, cleansing tonics, right? I have so many different variations of different cleansing salts, right? And then I just know what, I grab like 3 of the cleansing, tonics and whatever salt that I need for the day, depending on what energy I worked with. And I do it every single night, every single night. In my hypnagogic state, when I wake up and when I go to bed, I do my spiritual work. I do my manifestation in that kind of altered state. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to run your checklist, right? So I say that to say, you're going to hand everything over. It's going to feel like back to a state of nothingness. That is the one consciousness. And you're like, wait a minute, I should be infinite knowing. Well, you are, but it's like, how I taught in the class. There's a front-facing part of our chakras, which is the conscious part. There's a back-facing part, which is the unconscious subconscious. Kind of the same thing. When you join back to source in the one divine consciousness, you're in the unconscious subconscious. Yes, you have all the records, but it's not time yet for you to express such things. Because remember, source is so potent, it just reverberates and reverberates. Imagine just reverberating and reverberating all of everything in creation. It's not possible. Source has to get voided and get quieter and almost become, less to now become more. It's really the contractional periods and expansional periods of the of the universe. The mega universal cycle is when the energy contracts and expands, right? And this happens throughout the ages. So we're going to a contractional period right now, but it's only going to lead to the expansion or the great expansion. And that's what, the Satan vibration comes to, crack that whip, to contract things, because most diamonds are formed what? Under pressure. What's wrong with me? That song, Under Pressure. Sorry, guys. I'm being silly. But diamonds are birthed under pressure. So the Satan vibration, when we zone out, if you're earthling, if you're from an earth vibration, oh my God, Satan is the big bully, and you're afraid, girl. You scared. You shaking in your boots. You're shaking in your boots because of Satan. But when we zone out, right, as we just now have turned back into one love, one mind, and one consciousness, right? When you look at it from that way, Satan is like becomes a tool. Satan is a tool. That's how Source views Satan. Satan is a tool for the contractional periods. Some of us will become diamonds, and other ones of us will get crushed. Those are the non-awakened, the non-chosen, or the shaft, the part that is unedible. That's what we're looking at. That's what's happening. So this slavery 3.0 energy that they want to put us in, truly, some of us are going to make it out. But how Source is saying, how will we make it out, is when you drop that ego and you become one with the divine all yet again. Okay? Lord, I love teaching. I just love it so much. Okay, so most will not understand until this third dimensional existence crumbles. Most people won't get this until this world crumbles. What's happening? It has crumbled. Brings a whole new meaning of that that cookie store crumble is given, like that is, it's like a nostalgia, when they like a time capsule to record the time that we're in, which is everything crumbling. So a lot of people are coming into the gnosis now because everything is crumbling, right? Once it falls, so will all the internal roadblocks that were indoctrinated into the crevices of man. So those internal roadblocks that I can't, I won't, I'm not good enough, I don't have, so I'm not going to do nothing. That victim mentality and mindset is of the devil. Wasn't that on Forrest Gump? Wasn't his mama always talking about something is of the devil or something? I don't know. You guys, I'm being silly. So I'm just saying, guys, that all of that stuff is leaving because it wasn't real anyway. It was given to you because you thought that negative thought form. You were told they didn't teach you that this was our archonic thought. They didn't teach you that that was a disembodied spirit trying to knock on the door and get inside of your body and in your mind. They never taught you. They never teach this stuff in church. They don't teach this in church. I don't think they know. So when you zone out, Satan is a tool. Satan is an absolute tool. So when something happens, there's some people, they say, oh, that's just the devil. Something bad happens, that's the devil working against me. Yeah, no, the devil is working in your favor if you zoned out, if you're back with one mind, one consciousness, one love. That's just a tool to get you to divine correction, to apply pressure so that you can become a diamond, so that you can see what you're made out of. Satan is just a tool, guys. Like, let's not give this thing too much power, because, I mean, here's what I always say. With these beings and ghosts and goblins, they're trying to attach to us, not the other way around. So who truly has the power? If they are trying to attach to humanity, we're not trying to attach to them, because we don't need them. They need us. They need your spark, your life force, the energy that's encoded into soul and spirit. That's what they need. So you have all the power. Satan has no power. Zero, zilch, no power. As a matter of fact, Satan is dead. It has no power. It only has the power that you give to it. You see what I'm purposely doing? And I do this a lot. I'm purposely doing this because I am changing the frequency of the people who have put Satan on a freaking pedestal. So much so where they, like, God is like, what am I, chopped liver? God is like, like a small little man that you've shrunk down. You shrunk your power down so that you could exalt a negative thought form, so that you could exalt Satan, just to have something, an overlord. Why does humanity always need overlords? I don't know. I'm just saying. Like the video, subscribe. I'm just saying. Okay. So we're getting rid of the internal roadblocks, right? Often the non-chosen people are the ones living in our households, children we gave birth to, and the spouses we made love to countless times, the siblings we built unbreakable bonds with, the mother that nursed us as a baby, and the father that protected us. Baby, say it ain't so. It's getting real now. It's getting real. In this season, when it's time to become the immortal again, we got to get away from the ego state. This is a continuation. See, the part of the ego is you thinking that you are a part of a physical family. That's also ego consciousness. Now, you could totally have people in your family that you were birthed of the same, parents and of the same lineage, and they can be part of the expansion, part of the wheat, part of the chosen elect. But you can also have the ops. The people that are using the quantum radiation through quantum manipulation, quantum entanglement. Yeah, you can also have that. In this season, if you truly want to go home, you truly want to expand outside of this, you got to let some of these people go. That's just the truth. That's also part of the ego. Oh, I am of this stature. This is my last name. I'm so proud of it. My matrix name. All of that is still dealing with ego, the identity, like identity consciousness, selfishness consciousness. We're refining ourselves, right? Some of those people are not good. Some of these people have just been seeded into your bloodline because they are a watcher. They might be a body hopper and they don't even know, and you don't know. Why do you think some of these people keep showing up in all your same past lives? It'll be the same person, just keep taking lives with you. Some of these people, it ain't about the karma, it's about they're watching you. I had to learn that the hard way. They're watching you. You're just thinking, oh, my boo is in that past life with me. Your boo may be a watcher and a quantum handler. I'm just saying. Just saying. So, this is the heartbreaking truth of the matter. Not everyone will be able to go to group consciousness. They can't go. That's just the truth. That's where you are. This is why most people won't actually turn their immortal codes back on, because we're been taught and told and programmed that we belong in this place. We belong with this group of people. We belong with that. No, you are everything. You are infinite. You belong where you say you belong. Many people won't be able to go to group consciousness because they have not done the necessary inner work. Much like the inside out socks, a pair of inside out socks, many have outsourced their part of the source equation to people and to external gods. In truth, their very existence was the missing piece of the great source formula. You are the missing piece of the great source formula. Without you here, if we take one person out of the equation, the whole universe shifts. Let it sink in how significant you are. So, once our eyes have been opened, we shall not close them again. If we even rest one eyelid, it could be detrimental to the greater plan, which is the great expansion. That was less than 1 page, and look how much information we got. Boy, this book is so multi-dimensional and high vibrational. So that's what we kind of got going on here, guys. I don't know why Source really wanted to get that one off. And so Source wants to tell us we need to get back to our, okay, so your telepathic, when your telepathy starts coming back online, then you know that everyone's coming back in to usher back in not just group consciousness, but the group consciousness is the immortal timeline, or the immortal concentration of our DNA light codes expanded. So once the telepathy, that's how we'll know. It's what Source is saying. Once we receive higher divine communication via telepathy, this will start happening as more in pods and groups, little pockets of group first, and then the collective. And then now we're on our way back to the immortality. Once that shifts, okay, here it is. Catch it. Thank you, Source. Boots on the ground. Thank you. Listen, once we do that, our world will be turned back around. Once we do that, because that's your original timeline, once you take your immortal status back, then everything that was inverted now gets turned back. So now cue in the pole shift. A lot of people say we're going to have a pole shift. I just channeled. I don't think I channeled this, or rather Source gave this to me. It wasn't a channel. It's like we're talking. It's not a channel. I'm communicating. Everything will get turned back around, and that is what causes the pole shift. Who causes the pole shift? We do. Just as we can cause wars, we can cause a pole shift, because it is an inversion here. Everything is inverted and turned inside out and upside down. So your collective rising, going back to group consciousness, and that's why it's so important. Do you see? It also talks in this book about the great swallow. And this is demonstrated by Father Source, which is the energy vibration of the great cosmos, and Mother Source would be the vibration of the great cosmos. Big mama of the cosmos. So we cause the pole shift. Your awakening, your readiness, your alertness, your technology causes the pole shift because the old distorted timestamp, it can't hold up under the light of truth. Okay? That is what's happening, guys. You know, this video really doesn't have to be that long. Come on, like the video, subscribe to this vibration. Buddy Rue, hi. We are spinning counterclockwise, yes. And we are about to course correct that. And that's why I'm telling you, every time I get ready to teach my class, you know, for us to turn our telepathy on, I'm telling you, there'll be something popping off. Then we had a war. Guys, you are more powerful than you think. They know who we are because they are the watchers. They've been watching us for freaking eons. They know who you are. You think that that's why they don't put these presidents into place? They're the ultimate watchers. They have access to all of the data about you. They are the watchers. That's why they're in positions of power, so that they keep watch over you. All of these things will fall once the pole shift happens. So don't even worry about that, guys. The only thing you need to worry about is to bring your telepathy back online. That makes space for your true immortal DNA to turn back online. Once that happens, when I talked about becoming nothing, going back to the group consciousness, the one consciousness, yeah, you're going to hope for that, because otherwise you would be feeling the pole shift, everything. So I'm telling you, when this pole shift happens, it's what source is saying. When this pole shift happens, some of us will be on a ship. If you're truly part of the wheat, if you're truly part of the chosen, if you're truly part of the chosen elect, you're not going to feel this pole shift because you are part of source, part of the infinite source, or the one consciousness, one love, one divine mind. So for your own protection, you now go into hibernation, unconscious, subconscious of the massive, collective source field. While the non-elect, they are the ones that are going to be scattered, trying to run underground, trying to whatever. They will be experiencing the pole shift. It will not be us. We will get on ships out of here, traveling through space-time. That's what I'm saying. I may never do another video you guys want me to do again. I just like when I come here and do me, baby. I just love it because it's such an authentic channel. I love authenticity. This is big. So we learned a few things today. We learned that Antarctica, no, that's the beginning of the true. This ain't the true earth. This is all inside. Literally in the inner earth. We're all under water, right? The air is actually water, but we're in the inner earth. And when you get on the other side of the ice wall, now that's actually true earth. So it's all kind of inside out. So when the pole shift happens, guys, we're going to be what this book describes, where we get the new immortal bodies. Thank you, Source. Where it talks about in this book, us getting new immortal bodies. Because we're going to be on the real earth, which is on the other side of the ice wall, where all of the tropical lands are, which it outlines in this book. And everything's sentient. The trees are sentient. We're taller over there. You can live forever or until you want a different experience. That is how it works. Why you think they won't let us to Antarctica? because you'll be activated. You will gain back to your immortal status, and you will know that they are farce. Jews a lie. You's a lie. July. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if this was a world reading. Guys, this is a given cosmic reading. That's what I'm gonna change the title to a cosmic reading, baby, because we done went interstellar. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's the vibe for today. That's the energy of what's happening. So everything you're doing, that's why that straight and narrow path is so important. That authentic path is so important. Not listening to those ops you have around you. Oh, don't do that. Do this. Follow me. They want you to be a little bird following after them, or whatever you call it, like a chicken with your head cut off. No, baby. The straight and narrow is your authentic path. Going through the eye of the needle, it's a path that is only made for one person. The moment you try to bring someone else on that path, the path now gets too wide, and it's now not a godly path anymore. Catch it? The church don't teach you this, baby. They don't teach you this. They won't give you this gnosis. The moment you try to bring someone with you on your authentic path, it now becomes wide. No longer the straight and narrow that was meant for you, your energy, your purpose, your light. And then this is how people are spoiling their divine seed. We all have a divine seed within our body, or, energy body, or, one of our bodies of consciousness. But we can spoil our seed. One of the ways is by stop trying to bring people with you. It won't work. A straight and narrow path is only for you. Whoever makes it through their own eye of the needle, they'll be on the other side waiting for you there. You're not going to save them holding yourself back. Not in this season. Going higher ground is paramount. Or you're going to be trapped up in the slavery 3.0. That's what they want. They got the AI overlords, mixed in with all of the archonic overlords, mixed in with all of the earthly overlords. That's you just be a man working on the chain gang. That's what it's given. They probably make you dub yourself as an avatar, put you online, and make you live forever online and work forever. And then feed the consciousness into your own physical vessel so that you feel like you're working forever. Do not put anything past these people. So quantum radiation, I'm telling you, this is why we had to get the Erica situation on the world stage. She represents this radiation energy. Refers to the emission, absorption, and behavior of energy in discrete packets rather than continuous waves. So it's basically using quantum radiation to block the flow of your energy, your chi, your life force. Yeah. Keeping you fragmented, stuck in the lower chakras, so you never expand. Yep. That's what's happening, guys. That's the channel for today. That's the channel. That's the channel. I made it. All right. We are in a quarantine under this bubble. Yes, I'll say. I'm reading some comments here. Hi. Sorry, I'm just getting to the comments. Natalie has a question. Yes. Where's your question at? Which one? Let me go back to the beginning of the chat. Oh my God, the chat's gone. Okay, wait, let me get it back. She said, Tahirah, Natalie's question, please. Okay, when we die, we shouldn't go straight to the light because that leads to the incarnation loop. So should we go into the darkness or someone else? Beautiful question. Put these questions down in the chat, everyone. Here's the thing, guys. There will always be a light. But the difference is this. You're looking for the sovereign light. You will be going through darkness until you birth the sovereign light within you. It's a spark of an awareness. The awareness, right, is the first step into consciousness. Consciousness is light codes. You will spark that light as you are going through the darkness. A external light will loop you. A light that sparks from within, much like when I get you get the aha moment. If you were able to put that under a microscope and see it spiritually, then you would be seeing sparks of light and light codes. That is the light you go into. It's your own sovereign light. It's birthed from remembrance. So that's where you go. And you stay in that dark until the remembrance sparks. That is the path. And it is straight and narrow. It's not someone calling you over here. Come with me, a passed away loved one. Nope. I already told my brother, which is one of my best friends. I said, if I see you when I pass away, we both have this for each other because you're not going to know if it's really them. I said, if I see you, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to walk the other way. I love you, but I'm not about to y'all not about to play me on my human emotions. Because if you're truly who you are, then I will see you when I get to where I'm going. We're going to meet there. We're not going to be meeting here, and don't come to me saying, let me show you the way. Nope, don't do any of that. Because I already know he's not going to do that. So if I see someone it's not going to be him. So thank you, Natalie, for that beautiful question. Natalie also says, the archons will surely try to trick you when your soul/spirit is out of your body. I want to visualize the right path, yes, to the moad, true light now before the time comes, yes. So, in some cultures, they actually practice this and through meditation, like how to pass away. Yeah, this is part of a spiritual practice that they make that stuff so separate, but everyone's going to shed this skin. We're going to shed this experience when it's time for us to go higher. We're going to naturally shed, right? The cocoon, what's that? The butterfly that has the cocoon? Yeah. And then you emerge in something else. You have to shed, guys. That's what I'm saying. In order to truly get into the one mind, one consciousness, one love, you gotta shed everything that you thought that you were. That's still part of the ego. Every organization, every family you ever been a part of, all of that. And the sovereign path is the straight and narrow path, is the eye of the needle, the path that is only made for one person. If you bring someone else with you, try to take someone else with you, the path now becomes too wide and it won't work. Not to ruffle feathers, but y'all don't trust God or what? You think the Holy Spirit in you could let you go the wrong way? I love that. I'm confused. I'm so confused with love. Look, I like that, Austin. I love that. Yes. So that's the thing, guys. Because I'm going to answer that, Austin. A lot of people nowadays, it's very confusing. Even it gets confusing. because there's so much information out there, right? So a lot of people don't know, when we talk about the Holy Spirit, this is a divine system. This is, first of all, the feminine part of Source. It's the loving part. It's the nurturing. It's the part, it's like a mother. So if you are tapped into that holy, yes, that Holy Spirit or holy essence, you will always have the path. But see, the problem is the archons, what they do, they play on, because you're still kind of have, you still have a little bit of your human emotions. This is how you're going to know when it's false. They will play on that. They will bring in the false images. They bring in images of your loved ones. They will trick you. It's a trick. So they might fully be embracing that spirit inside, that navigation system, that knowing, right? Remember I said it's a remembrance, right? That's what, thank you, the Holy Spirit. That's what helps to spark the remembrance, right? But it's when these souls get tricked, and these archons are good. They're masters at it. They've been doing this for eons. That's where the problem comes in. And the moment you even like question, then they got you. You know what I mean? So that's, but I love that. You're right. We got to trust that light and just know we're going to get to the right place. We got to trust that. Thank you. Natalie, the God of this world is the one that Sophia created, and she made a mistake, and she wants us to go to the true light, the real creator. So a little background about that, because I saw that in a past life regression session with a client. I don't think it's all the way on the up and up. I think they're lying to us about Sophia. Now, Sophia is, that's the mother of wisdom. That's what we call the feminine part of Source, Sophia. But I think they're blaming a lot of this stuff on her with creating that lesser God. I think that story is only half true. I can't remember what video it was, but I did a whole channel about that, and it involved the first man, Adam, which is the atoms, which everything is comprised of, right? So there's something with Adam, and then something with the Yaldabaoth, or the one lesser God that Sophia created. It wasn't all the way like that, but I can't remember the channel, but I do know there is twists and turns to that story. If I can bring that channel up and find it, again, I will, because it was, wow, very educational. What happens when someone passes away? You feel free. You feel free. And this is why, like, when people have their past life, you know, near-death experiences, they have to be told to come back. They don't want to come back into this dense body, especially if they've had an accident, especially if the body, you know, is not healthy. It's not able to take in a lot of oxygen and hold light. That's why you have to, like, it kills me when people come to me for healing. They want to do everything. They'll do every energy session. They'll do every past life regression, right? We'll go through the whole Ascension program where we cleanse out energy body, spiritual body, emotional body, mental body. But when it gets, baby, to the physical body, no one want to fast. No one wants to do that work. Because there's a difference between the body and the flesh. They're still living in flesh. You can't stay in this experience if your body can't hold light and oxygen, which you are light. So you have to have your healthy body in order to stay being an earthling. So most people, they feel free. Most people feel free. Yep, most people feel free when they pass away. Other people feel shocked if they passed away suddenly. Some people don't know that they're passed away. And they kind of are almost disembodied for a moment until they have a realization, you know? Rather, someone said rather suicide or murdered. Okay. Okay. They're just saying it's deeply disturbing. It's not disturbing to ask. Okay. What happens if someone's suicide or murdered? Okay. So it depends on the work that you've done, the light that you hold within your body. Some people, like I said yesterday, sometimes when these horrific things, endings happen, because, you know, at the end of the past life regression, you know, a lot of the times I will go to the death wound, or how did that person pass away? Let's say if if the throat got cut, they might have a problem speaking in this life, or they can't speak up, or they can't, you know, correlate their thoughts to, you know, correlate to come out of their throat. It's because they still are healing from that trauma, right? So, but there's always a covering. You don't feel all that pain when you're dying in a horrific way. Source has a covering for us. So you kind of become like an observer of it. And it kind of is what happens when someone gets murdered or they suicide. They're looking at themselves like, oh boy, I think I died. Like, you know, they're kind of looking at themselves. They can see everything. And because they feel so free outside of the body, even if, you know, even if someone said, "Oh, you're gonna make it out of this. You just got to go back into this body." If they're looking at a body that is distorted and cut up and all that, trust me, it's so hard for them to go back into that body. Everything is just. Sometimes we choose these endings. Sometimes the endings are, you know, we're robbed from our true ending. And sometimes some people's soul contracts almost violate ours, is what I'm getting. Sometimes the way certain people are dying, sometimes other people's are like inserting their soul in front of yours, like their soul is violating your soul plan. So like when people like take someone's life and it was unplanned, like it wasn't part of your soul contract, it's because that person, they're still an ego. Even when they're trying to take someone out, murder someone, that is still ego consciousness. Your ego is impeding on someone else's free will. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about someone taking someone's life. It is impeding on the sovereign soul's free will, and their will was to live. It's because the person that took the life is still in ego consciousness. That's why. Reading. So, okay, so someone's asking, Natalie, so who is Sophia? So, you know, what they say is this, that Sophia is the feminine part. Well, this is what I say. Sophia is the feminine part of Source. That is what people are calling Sophia, which is like the wisdom part of Source. But this is in the vibration of what we call the Holy Spirit. This is a feminine, or even Source. Some of this story of Sophia is not on the up and up. It is an aspect of the feminine part of Source. To sum it up, who is Sophia? An aspect of the feminine part of Source. An aspect. There's many aspects. Who is Father Source, or people call Father God, the true Father God, who never has been dwelling down here. I mean, probably a long time ago. But I'm telling you, oh baby, once he moves, it ain't gonna be nothing nice. It's gonna be like the beast has come. Because imagine not doing nothing for eons and then you finally moving. Everything shakes and everything rumbles and everything crumbles and everything collapses in on itself. Like the true source is, it packs a power. That's why you're in creation and not source. That's why source is truly holding space for you to create. Imagine all of that power coming down here. Everything would get destroyed over and over and over again. Do you see what I'm saying? God will never come unless it's time for destruction, contraction that leads to expansion. And if your energy is not right, if there's not enough chosen people holding the light, then source can't come. God can't come because the vibration can't hold it. Okay? Was wisdom okay? So, we're talking about Sophia. Okay, so I love this. So Natalie says, I understand that she loved the creator so much that she wanted to develop her part without her masculine side, right? That's as like the story goes, right? And then Austin says, was wisdom created though? I love that. Everything comes from the unseen. When I was talking to you guys about the 0 point, or rather teaching in the class about the unified field or the 0 point energy, if you were to vacuum everything out of the universe, everything that's sentient, all of the, all of the different celestial bodies, all the different planets and galaxies and star systems and all of that, if you were to have a big quantum vacuum and vacuum all of that, you would still be left with something. 0 point energy. This is who source is. You can't quantify it, and you can't truly define it. Sophia is an aspect. Every aspect, if you notice, there's a bunch of different stories in the Bible of different people. These could also be aspects. Sophia is an aspect that, a lot of people don't know of. But when I'm telling you who is source, it's that 0 point energy. If you were to take everything out of creation, there would still be a vibration. Who is source? It is the vibration. The empty spaces in between every living thing. Just holding space for its creations to create. And that's why Sophia was allowed to create. And I'm calling BS that she was supposed to get masculine to create. She was supposed to create masculine and feminine within the creation. Catch it? This is a channel. She's an aspect. They wanted to blame her for that. No. I can create something as a woman. But if I create something, it has to be balanced. Balance, we can look at it as, as homeostasis, we can look at it as masculine and feminine. The only thing she had to do was to create something balanced. That's what we're really looking at. Whatever was created was imbalanced. And I don't think that now, to your point, Natalie, to your point, it makes sense. Well, the balance would be the masculine part, right? Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But Source is giving us just another layering. I think they twisted that story just to blame it of why Yaldabaoth came out like that, to blame it that the woman was doing something naughty. No, it just wasn't created out of balance, right? Of masculine and feminine. Somehow, some way, that thing got skewed, and it got skewed by a snake in a garden. That's what Source is saying. And I'm not talking about, the snake in the garden tempting Eve and Adam, but I think I kind of am. It's given that vibe. That is the part that they left out. She was allowed to create, but the thing has to be balanced, has to have the balance of both masculine and feminine. But it was colluded by a snake in the garden. This started all the disruption. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep going. So yes, was wisdom created? It's always in the 0 point energy within the unified field. It's always there. You can't get rid of it. It always was. You can't even wrap your consciousness around something that always was. The way that I can explain it to you guys, where we can view it more probable that all of this stuff was created. We can look at source, the feminine part of source, as vibration. We have vibration. How did I help build ancient Gaza? How did my soul help? Was spearheaded that whole thing over there, ancient Egypt, ancient Gaza. We used to be able to walk from one world into this world, and we helped to create that. I was one of the souls that helped to spearhead some of those, believe it or not. And it's funny, a friend of mine, his father was also another one of those souls who helped to build the pyramids over there, right? And it's kind of funny that we're kind of like in, like in this life together, still connected through people. But I forgot what I was saying, but I was pointing something out. Oh, the wisdom, right? The wisdom always was. So whose source? The vibration. This is how we built the pyramids. We used vibrational technology. This is why when I use light language, that was always going to be in my soul contract to speak light language, simply because I was using the vibrational tongue, or technology rather, back then when we created those worlds. And they used to be worlds, and then they were condemned down. I'm channeling this now. I think it's just a soul remembrance. Those ancient places that we built, they used to be whole worlds. They weren't part of the world. It was a world. It became fragmented, and part of this is being cloaked and hidden from us in like another timeline. I can't wait until the pole shift happens. We're going to get access back to all of this stuff, back to every bit of it. Yep, every bit of it. We will get it. Okay. I understand, I understand thee and like the story, but it's just that she's literal wisdom, and they framed her doing something unwise. How? Yes, man, Austin, you are thinking. They framed her. It wasn't her. It was a snake in the garden, and then that's when they said they took the Eve, because guys, if you read this book, it gives you the hierarchy of source. So my cosmic family is mother source, which that aspect is mother ethereal. And then the daughters of mother ethereal, which is an aspect of the feminine part of source, which is an aspect of Sophia. The daughters, one is sister Eve, that's my cosmic sister, and the other one is me, and then I have a cosmic brother, the father of duality, right? Which holds the dualistic energies, right? So it was not, that would be unwise. That would even make sense. They absolutely framed her. It was a serpent, and not a good one. And what it did was, so this is how the past life regression client session, there was something else there waiting in these lower realms before Yaldabaoth. See, what they're leaving out is what I'm getting in this moment. I think I already channeled this before. There was something primordial in these lower realms already. And it looked much like a dragon. It was already waiting. So I'm kind of questioning who created that. So, guys, what we're looking at with Sophia is a second creation, not the first. Not the first. So, how I understand it in the client session was this. Sophia was existing within the free flow, her fully free-flowing essence, which was water. She was water. Now, she wasn't water in the session, but we understood her as water. The element of water. We can look at all feminines as that, but we can look at Sophia like that, a divine intelligence, a substance of divine intelligence. This water was captured, right? I'm using the element to make you guys understand. It was captured, put in a cup, put a lid on it. Feminine part of source was captured. What do you have inside of your body? Water. Isn't your body not 90% water? That's spirit, consciousness in there. They captured that. That's your wisdom. That's why your spirit and your consciousness is intelligent. You know if you did something wrong. You know if you did something that wasn't right. You can feel it because of your internal waters. This is the part of Sophia that was taken. And what I saw was a different story because Yaldabaoth was already here. They blamed it on her. The whole kit and freaking caboodle. I'm remembering now. I'm going back and I'm remembering. They blamed that on her. He was already here. I already saw him. Once they captured the feminine part of source, the flow, now cue in these bodies, and now your body has water all of a sudden. Now we created matter. When they trapped Sophia, they set her up. Do you see how they actually trafficked her? Sophia was trafficked. And then now she's to blame. Now I get how the story goes. But now Source is expanding it and say, hey, where's the truth and where's the lie? Well, they trafficked her. Probably that little snake in the garden was like, hey, I got a project you could work on. But they trafficked her. And so now the water, the essence of life is now inside of bodies. As before, we are existing out in nature. Now water is trapped inside of bodies. And that thing that I saw was the one who kidnapped her. It was a male figure. It was Yaldabaoth. The thing that they said that she created, she couldn't have possibly created him. Because I saw her there by herself, and he crept up on her and made her merge with him. He probably just drank it and took a sip, making himself channel immortal. How did they steal our immortal timeline? See, we're telepathic. You guys are all in the class. Nothing is by accident. Thank you, Natalie, for sparking this. Thank you, Austin. I'm sorry for everyone's message I did not get to yet, but we're getting into the channel. He was already there. He captured her. He took that sip of water, of essence, of source, of the thing that just produces life because it is life. That is how matter was formed. Oh, we didn't know matter was formed from water, substance of life. No, not matter, gravity. Sorry, gravity. Yeah, I think matter too, gravity. I'm remembering the channel, gravity. Because it's the water. If we were to drain this water, the water, baby, it can weigh a lot. The water can weigh a lot. The water is what has caused gravity. There really truly is not a such thing of gravity. It's because Sophia is trapped inside of you. Message. We have to free Sophia. Free Sophia. She's trapped inside of us. Now, Holy Spirit is the feminine flow of source. Now we're getting another layering. How Sophia is also Holy Spirit. As they trapped her, but yet the remembrance is sparked inside of you. So the vibration, which is the Holy Spirit, which just like the pyramids was creating a vibration to be able to create such structures, to be able to build things in midair, because there wasn't gravity. You see what I'm saying? Yes, Austin said, I knew that gravity was fake. Yes. He said, hallelujah. I didn't know all this could be connected like this. Me neither, Austin. I'm just channeling this, like, because, you know, I already channeled it, but, you know, you forget. You do so many messages. So they framed her. Absolutely. It is a shame. I totally forgot about this. It's like I'm understanding it from another angle today. And the reason why we're all bringing it up is because we were always supposed to have this angle. Or this angel of light. We were always supposed to have it. So, yeah, that male thing merged with her, took her in captivity. She was trafficked. We've been trafficking since they trafficked Sophia, the divine feminine, which the remembrance is the Holy Spirit. So the remembrance of Sophia, or the remembrance of the element of water, which is the substance of life, is the Holy Spirit when you have the remembrance. So yes, if you have the remembrance, ain't no way you can't get back to source if you truly have the true Holy Spirit. But if you're waiting for the man that they told you and the ghost, no. You're going to be recycled if you're waiting for the ghost. So this answers all of our questions. You're welcome, Natalie. But Natalie, I'm channeling this. So thank you, Natalie, for bringing this up, because that is the story. You have it correct. And if you listen to any of these master teachers, they will tell you the story exactly as Natalie stated it. Source is just today, I'm telling you, I didn't have anything planned. Source told me to come on here. Source is revealing more of herself, himself. This is just a part that, you know, we don't know of the story. So maybe in the future, this part will be included in the story too. No, Sophia could not create something evil. That's a lie. I'm coming into this, almost feels like just the first time. Even though I channeled this before, I forgot about it. So now it's like, oh, yeah, this all makes sense. You see how clever how crafty the devil energy is? It's so deceitful. It will get you to believe that you created a monster. Of course, blame it on the woman. No, the only reason, if the thing was created out of her, the only reason why it was because they trafficked her waters, cutting her off from the oxygen, tainting the water. If anything, that is what happened. The water was tainted. They were never supposed to drink of the living waters because they're not living. They're just disembodied troublemakers. So Austin says, hidden knowledge framed as Jesus' inner circle. Some of it is fake and some of it is real. Okay, you guys are talking about something else here. Oh, according to the Gautama Sudhara in Buddha, to be free from the cycle of rebirth, one must, in cravings and ignorance, by following the noble eightfold path. Living the right standing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the fasting had to be on point. That's what I'm saying. Most people, they don't want to work on the physical vessel. They don't want to die to the body. They don't want to do that part. But the more you get conscious, the more naturally you'll be able to do that part. You're welcome. All right, guys. I think I gotta go. It's been long. And I can't get to the upper part of the chat. So I apologize. Otherwise, I would go back up there, but I'm not seeing those messages. So I can't get to those messages. So I apologize if you sent me a message and I did not get to it. But you can feel free to email me, and then I will respond to it in a separate video. All right, guys. Yep. So I'm just checking the rest of the chat that I can see. Mermaid motion at wow, 6 colors of the rainbow are the 7 chakras turned upside down. Yes, yep. Oh, you're talking to Gal. Okay. So should it be dark at the bottom or the top? Okay. Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourself. Okay. All right, guys. I don't want to make this video too long. Sorry if I couldn't get to all the comments, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like the video and subscribe to this vibration. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys. Be well.